What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and today it's time to review Halloween H2O. This is the Halloween sequel that came out in 1998 and was a direct sequel to Halloween 2, ignoring all of the other sequels, including all of the Jamie Lloyd movies, including the Cult of Thorn crap from Halloween 6. Let's just ignore all those other sequels because it's just going to get, everything's going to get too weird and crazy and all mixed up and all convoluted. No, we're not going to do that. Let's make it simple, and that's the key thing I like about this movie. It is very, very simple. Michael Myers has escaped. He's going to jump in a car. He's going to drive it to wherever Laurie Strode is. First, he makes a stop in Illinois to try to find out where she is. And that's a cool opening scene. I think a very important opening scene to get some Michael Myers, get some kills out of the way, because he's going to be gone for a little while he's doing this, cross-country trip to California. And also, we're focusing on some young teenagers. We're focusing on Laurie Strode. And Michael Myers is going over there to kill her. And while he's doing so, why not kill a whole bunch of other people too? This film was a huge event for me back in 1998. I had high expectations. I was so excited. Like I said, I was a huge Halloween fan. Had all the VHS tapes and still do. Here's one of them right here. I was pretty damn happy about the movie. Not perfect. I wasn't walking out like, yeah, that's the best Halloween movie ever. But I was like, damn, that was pretty badass. Overall, I really liked it. And it is a fitting conclusion to the Halloween franchise if you choose to go down this path, this timeline, because now there's multiple timelines. Pick your adventure in the Halloween franchise. Now, even this movie got destroyed by the next one, which pissed me off. And unfortunately, that movie exists, but in my mind, it doesn't really. I just don't acknowledge Halloween Resurrections. It's an absolute insult. I will review it just for entertainment for the channel, but it was, and is still to this day, even with Halloween Kills being a disappointment, by far, Halloween Resurrection is the worst Halloween movie. But as for H2O, let's stay on track. H2O, a lot of fans love it. A lot of fans hate it. A lot of fans don't like it. I don't love it, but I do like it a lot. I think it's just a solid Halloween movie, and I think the third act is absolutely badass. And not Jamie Lee Curtis, it is Jamie Lee Curtis, but the Laurie Strode we get, portrayed by Jamie Lee Curtis in this film, I find a little more realistic than the Laurie Strode we get in Halloween 2018. And then, of course, Halloween Kills, she's pretty much in the hospital the entire movie. So I like this version of Laurie Strode a little more. I think it's a little more realistic. She's damaged, but she is very intelligent. She's older. You can see that she's more experienced. She's, ready to defend herself if she has to, but she's very much has some PTSD because she has nightmares. She has visions of Michael Myers. She's messed up. And, she's changed her name and she's moved her ass out of Haddonfield and is never going to go anywhere near Haddonfield, which makes perfect sense. So, there is some criticism of this movie that I've heard that it looks wrong because it's set in California. But where the hell would she go? To another neighborhood that looks like Haddonfield? To somewhere else in Illinois? Hell no, she'd be gone. She'd be gone. So, I appreciate the movie making sense, doing something that actually makes sense, doing something where I say, okay, that's actually what would happen, and that's actually what would happen. So I appreciate that. And Michael Myers, we get to see him do some kills in a different setting. If you want to see Haddonfield, you got Halloween 1, Halloween 2, Halloween 4, Halloween 5, Halloween 6, Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills. You got a million different options if you want to see Haddonfield. So I don't mind it. But for many people, this is the definitive end to the Halloween franchise. I love multiple adventures, in the choose your adventure franchise. I love the way Halloween 4 wraps up, but it gets ruined by Halloween 5. And I love the way this one wraps up, but it gets ruined by Halloween Resurrection. Halloween Ends, you better make a good ending and not retcon it, you mother effers. Halloween Ends actually has a chance to make the first definitive ending and then not retcon it a movie later. That would be awesome, and we would appreciate that. But as for Halloween H2O, it's such a simple approach. You have a group of teenagers. One of them is her son, I mentioned, played by Josh Hartnett. And he's a good character. He's got his girlfriend, he got another couple, and they're just trying to get away from the adults. They're just trying to party. Meanwhile, Jamie Lee Curtis is the only one who seriously believes Michael's out there and he could come back any day now. Everyone else is like, she's nuts. And, so she kind of, in a way, becomes sort of the Dr. Loomis type character here. People think she's crazy, but she actually understands. But she doesn't talk over the top crazy like in the newer movies. And I don't mean to harp on Halloween Kills, but the dialogue in this movie is so much more natural and realistic, and I really appreciate that. And Janet Leigh is in this movie, and yeah, that's not awesome to me because she's Jamie Lee Curtis's mom. That's awesome to me because this is a horror icon from Psycho, and even the car from Psycho are the same make and model she drives around. So a little bit of a callback there to Psycho, a little bit of a Easter egg there, and I really think that's cool that she is part. Janet Leigh is part of the Halloween franchise. Marion Chambers is there, the old nurse from the first two movies. She gets whacked just like she does in Halloween Kills. She's just always there available. We can bring her back anytime we need some easy kills. We bring back Marion Chambers. That's her point. That's her existence. It's pretty sad for her, but hey, we appreciate you. But it was important to open the film with Michael Myers, with some kills. I thought it could have been done a little better, that opening sequence, but at least it had to be there because Michael Myers doesn't show up for a while. So, you got to kick it off with some Michael Myers because, this isn't the original 78 film where everyone walking in doesn't even know, we're walking in like looking for Michael Myers, looking for some kills. So I appreciate that they found a way to balance having him not show up till the third act in full force, having a lot of suspense, but also you got to give us a Michael Myers right off the bat too, to make up for the fact that he's not going to be showing up for a little while. But where this movie really takes off, before this, I was thinking, okay, it's decent. It's decent. Let's see what happens here in the end. But that third act, after the point that Michael Myers is apparently dead, but we all know he's not. So Laurie Strode grabs a gun from a cop, throws Michael Myers in the back of a van, takes off with the van. She has taken him somewhere to completely finish him off. And that whole sequence where he gets thrown through a window, he gets smashed from the van, he's rolling down a hill, gets pinned up against a tree, and then reaches out. He's in trouble. He can't move. He reaches out, and there's a slight touching of the hand, Laurie Strode and Michael Myers, and then she backs up and she's comes to because it is her brother. So for just a second, makes eye contact. It's just a little moment there, and then boom with the axe. Clean takes off his head. The music comes in, and it is an absolute badass, epic moment right here. Could definitely be considered one of the best endings, if not the best, in the entire franchise. Now, Halloween 4 has got a great ending, so there is some really good endings in this franchise. Obviously, the original ending was very cool, very appropriate, but this one right here, a definitive ending. At least that's what it appears to be. Anyone with any common sense watching this is like, okay, well, he's dead. His head is gone. I mean, it's over. Amazing. A great ending. And yes, they screwed it up. They retconned it in the most bullshit, nonsensical, stupidest, dumbest retcon I've ever seen. And there was so much more insulting things in Halloween Resurrection, which I'll talk about. I literally hate that movie. So I absolutely love the third act of this movie. I love the way it ends. His head gets chopped off by Laurie Strode. Boom, Halloween score hits. Can't get any better than that. Great ending. And, they don't show any signs that it's bullshit, that they're going to retcon that. And I appreciate that because that was part of the deal. That was part of the deal. This was all Jamie Lee Curtis is doing because thank God for her, because she's the one that said this is how it has to end. Then the studio's like, oh no, we can't do that because Mustafa Akkad, the producer, has some clause where you can't kill off Michael Myers. Well, she says, well, I'm out. And they only tell her this after they've set everything up and starting shooting and she's agreed to it and everything and the finances, everything's ready to go. Then they tell her that. Are you kidding me? So they had to come up with a way to still do it. So they said, well, let's just do it like you want, but we're going to retcon it in the next movie and you got to be in that movie. Agreed? She's like, fine. But overall, a very simple approach, a solid film, a good script, and I really like it. I like it a lot. I do. But that being said, there are some negatives. And one of the big ones in this movie for me, and I don't think that this applies, I haven't heard this complaint a lot, but LL Cool J's character, now not that I don't like his character, Ronnie, he's kind of funny, he like writes poems, he's the security guard there at the school, and it shows him talking to his wife on the phone, and it's funny, it's fine. It's a little bit of levity to the film at times, lightens things up, and it's not a problem. I like his character. I don't have an issue with his character. But there comes a point towards the end, and it's a pretty cool scene, where Michael Myers is rampaging, he's in the school, and then it's Laurie Strode and her boyfriend Will. They see a shadow coming up. It looks to be a big guy. It looks to be Michael Myers. So Will has a gun. He points the gun at who he thinks is Michael Myers. Pulls the trigger. 5-6 shots. Boom, 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 boom. Guy goes down. Obviously he got hit. Presumably multiple times. They go to check it out. It's Ronnie. big ass pool of blood underneath him. He is unconscious. They are, Laurie Strode, oh no, no, no. You could tell by their reactions that this is a bad situation. He's been hit, and he's been hit bad. The implication here is that he's dead or very close to it, seriously in trouble. There is a big pool of blood. Again, I must reiterate that. And the problem is, he comes back. And even the first time I watched this, when I saw him, go down, and then Michael Myers suddenly shows up, kills Will, Laurie Strode runs away, and then things continue, and we kind of forget about Ronnie. I'm like, is he going to come back? Maybe he'll come back last minute, kind of save the day trope type thing. He did come back. He didn't save the day, but he grabs Laurie Strode right as she's trying to finish off Michael Myers, which was a terrible idea. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. And I'm like, he doesn't even look hurt. And then later he's on the phone in a very serious situation. People have died and everything. And he's like talking and it's all comedy again. I'm like, are you serious? With his wife talking about, oh, it just grazed me. It just grazed you? Will must first of all be the worst shot in the world, that he shot that about 5 shots at you and only 1 bullet grazed you. But then if you were just grazed by 1 bullet, why did you go down and there's a big ass pool of blood? Because the movie was trying to trick the audience, to make us think that he was dead so they can bring him back. And then because he's the comedy, funny character, oh, we can't have Ronnie die or be seriously hurt. Why? I thought it was pretty insulting, and I didn't appreciate that. That could have been written better. The guy was down. He was shot multiple times, and the implication was that he was dead. And then it turns out to be that it barely grazed you? No, I don't like that. That's a nitpick, but it was a big nitpick. I didn't like that, the way that they wrote that. Also, there is a long period of time where Michael Myers doesn't show up, doesn't kill anybody, and I like it because it does add some suspense and everything, but being that this is, a movie that we already know Michael Myers, like I mentioned, that's why that kill at the beginning was important, and the fact that he did do some kills at the beginning, including Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in this movie, sure is. I thought he did some things that didn't make sense as a kid, like he wanted to go investigate the house when the cops were on the way, when they knew a killer was possibly in there, or at least an intruder. What's the fun in not checking it out? I'm going to check this house out. And it was just kind of like, really? Well, maybe some dumb kid would do that, but it didn't come off too realistic. But that aside, that opening scene was really important to get some kills going, to get some Michael Myers going, because he would be gone for like 45 minutes to an hour. And I think it would have been nice to have at least a kill while he was on his way to California, because he didn't make a long drive from Haddonfield to California. Had to stop for gas at some point. I mean, I know it would be a weird visual to see Michael Myers stopping and pumping gas, but obviously he had to. I'm not saying show Michael Myers pumping gas, but I am saying show him killing someone on the way. Show a badass kill on the way, or something like that, just to interject in there. Movie could have been 10 minutes longer, and I think that would have helped out, just to give us a little more kills. Not that I watch these just for the kills, because I don't. If that was the case, a lot of these movies would be a lot better than they really are, because story is important, character is important, a good script is important, and this movie I think overall has all that. And the final negative has to be the mask debacle, which I have to admit I didn't even know about for years and years and years. I watched this movie and I didn't notice there was a scene with a CGI mask, which now once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. It's absolutely terrible. And just overall, the fact that they couldn't pick a good mask and just stick with it. They had to have 4 masks. They used this giant alien looking mask for a while. And the studio was like, what the hell is that? You need to go reshoot some scenes and fix that. And, they had the Halloween 6 mask at the opening, for the opening shots, which was fine. But, filmmakers being filmmakers, they had to do their own thing and change it up. And so it's just a big debacle and unfortunate, but it never really ruined the movie for me because, to be honest, I didn't notice it at first. The Ronnie thing is really the only major negative I had with this movie. Other than that, I thought it was really good. It didn't blow me away. I mean, the kills were not some of the best in the franchise. I think that even Halloween Kills, I'll give it that the kills themselves a little more creative, a little bit better. But hey, not always, make it more realistic. There's not always going to be some weird, crazy, creative kill. This ain't Saw. Sometimes he's just going to stab the hell out of someone. But there were a couple of interesting kills in this film. So overall, though, the way it ended, that's what made this film. And to me, absolutely loved Halloween H2O. I know there's a lot of people, again, that don't. And that's fine. For me, this film pretty much hit a home run, or at least a solid triple. And I'm going to say that Halloween H2O, in my opinion, it's not a masterpiece, but it is freaking awesome. Not perfect, but it's going to be probably towards the top of my ranking. We'll see when that comes out very, very soon. But enjoy Halloween H2O. Let me know what you guys thought of this movie, what you think of this movie. If I'm way off base on this, personally, I like this film, and I think it is an appropriate ending to the franchise. We'll see if Halloween Ends can do better. I doubt it. Highly doubt it, but we'll see. You guys have a great day. Please hit that subscribe and that thumbs up. I really appreciate your support. We'll talk to you later.